Music station
across the UK.
Turn up the feel good.
Are you a radio presenter that wants to create a showreel but you don't know how or where to start? Well, keep watching because I'm going to be giving you some top tips on how to create the perfect demo that will have employers buzzing. Firstly, how do you even create a showreel? You're going to need to download your shows and save them to a folder that you'll remember. I recommend doing this daily or weekly while it's fresh in your memory. The software that I use to collate all of my best links is Adobe Audition, although you can use a free alternative called Audacity, and then I use a razor tool to cut it all up and get rid of anything irrelevant, such as the adverts and news. Now that I've got all of my links, I'll sort them into 3 groups: definite, maybe, and nope. This helps me to separate which links are amazing, alright, and just average. After separating the links, I'll start to put them in a logical order and see what sounds right. You can change the levels, add sound effects, fade the clips in and out, and there you go, you've got a showreel. But before doing any of this, you have to have good industry standard links. And don't just take my word for it. I also got in touch with the Deputy Managing Editor at Classic FM to find out his top tips on making a demo stand out. David Rose has over 20 years of experience in the radio industry and listens to several showreels of potential candidates for the nation's biggest classical music station. He knows all about how to make a demo stand out from the crowd, so I'm very grateful he's given me his top 5 tips. First of all, play to your strengths. Include loads of what you're best at, but if you're not that great at something, avoid it. Listening to a demo should give a sense of your personality as a presenter. But also, demonstrate some range. Don't include too much of the same thing or you'll be seen as a one-trick pony. Include some shorter, some longer, and different types of content. I'm going to be telling you some different types of links that you can include in just a little bit. Also, front load with the good stuff. The order of the material doesn't really matter, but put your best stuff near the front. If the earlier bits aren't as strong, then people might not even continue to listen. They need to be pulled in from the start. And target if you can. Study the station that you might be trying out for, note down what they do and why they do it, and make yourself seem like you'll fit right in, without changing your own personality, of course. And lastly, do several takes of everything. Unless you did a live show, you can always pre-record or spend some time in the studio to practice and make yourself sound the best you can. Doing several takes gives you the option to edit, and remember, practice makes perfect. As David said in tip number 2, including different types of links is important and demonstrates your range as a presenter. In my showreel, I included over 15 different types, which I'm going to put on the screen now. Pause to read. The final type, an interview, involves more than just you and requires advanced research and preparation. I headed to Global to interview someone very big in the radio industry, SIAN WELBY, who presents Capital Breakfast with Roman Kemp and Sunny J. Radar figures for Q4 2021 shows that Capital Breakfast gets over 2.5 million weekly listeners, so I wanted to thoroughly prepare for this interview. To start off with, I researched all about SIAN and her career to date. I went over to Wikipedia and found out any necessary details so that I knew what to talk about and so that I didn't ask anything stupid. This is really important as it shows that you put effort into the interview and you don't want to act like you don't know anything about them. Then, based on my research, I thought about what I would talk about and also what sort of questions I would ask. Considering I'm a young radio presenter that would love to break into the industry, and I know a lot of you watching are too, I thought, what better questions would there to be asked than radio-related questions? So, when picking your topics, make sure that it's got something to do with the interviewee's life, your life, or even better, both. Because if it's not, then you won't know what you're talking about and it'll just be a bit overall pointless. My interview with SIAN is linked down below. Finally, one of the most important parts of your demo is to show off your personality and confidence. I know a lot of people struggle with this. I mean, if you heard my show from back in 2019, you would cringe. But one person who has helped me a lot with this is my mentor at Global, Amy Mackenzie, the senior music producer at Classic FM, and I've got her here to talk about how she did this.
I first met Gemma in February 2020 through Global Academy's partnership with Global Inspire and the Creative Mentor Network. I very quickly realised that Gemma is a very talented young lady, but just needed to work a little bit on her confidence to realise what a superstar she actually is. One day I surprised her with a little game. I made her stand in the middle of an empty theatre, a large room here at Global, and gave her different topics where I'd asked her to speak for a minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes straight on that topic. She had no time to prepare, and she was really nervous and wasn't entirely sure how she'd get on, but she absolutely smashed out the park. She had the ability to stand there and talk about something non-stop, like you'd maybe have if there was an issue on air and you had to fill for time. I then got some colleagues to join us. She did it in front of them as well, was not nervous at all, and was just able to speak really consistently at a good pace, measured level, and sound like she really knew what she was talking about, even though she'd only found out the topic 2 minutes before. So Gemma's confidence is brilliant now. She knows how talented she is, and quite right too, and I wish her the very best in everything she does in the future.
And as I said earlier, practice makes perfect. The more you do something, the more comfortable you'll be with it. And once you're comfortable, you can step out of your safe space and work your way up. So there you have it. Now that you've been given industry standard tips by professionals, and you know what types of links to include, how to plan an interview, and also how to grow your confidence, you are ready to create the world's best showreel that will have employers not think twice about hiring you. So go on, get started. What are you waiting for?